Before sharing intimacy, ask the questions that matter. Are we both ready? What does this mean for us? Are we safe, clear, and honest? Speaking up isn't awkward, it's empowering. Clarity builds trust. Respect starts with conversation. Choose connection, not confusion. Own your voice. That's how real confidence begins. Consent and comfort are the foundation of any intimate relationship, and they go far beyond a simple yes or no. Consent is not just about getting permission. It's about creating an atmosphere of safety, respect, and mutual understanding. It's an ongoing conversation where both people feel free to express their desires, limits, and boundaries without fear of judgment or pressure. It starts well before anything physical happens and continues throughout the entire experience. If you're not both comfortable, then the moment isn't right, period. Comfort means feeling emotionally and physically safe. It's the feeling that you are seen, heard, and valued. It's knowing that you can say, "I'm not ready," or "I've changed my mind," and that your words will be respected without hesitation. If you feel like you're walking on eggshells, trying to please someone, or ignoring your gut because you don't want to seem difficult, stop. That's not comfort, that's compliance, and they are not the same. Consent also must be enthusiastic. A hesitant okay or silence is not a green light. You want a hell yes from both people. And it's not a one-time check mark. It's something you keep checking in on. What felt okay at first may not feel okay halfway through. That's normal. That's human. The key is to stay present, to be attuned to your partner's words, body language, and energy. And if there's ever a flicker of doubt, you pause. You talk. You listen. Comfort is also about setting the scene emotionally. Are both of you in a good headspace? Is this moment happening because it's truly what you both want, or is someone trying to fill a void, fix a conflict, or chase validation? Comfort means creating a space where no one feels obligated, rushed, or tested. It's not about performance, it's about connection. When people feel safe, their nervous system relaxes, their guard lowers, and their authentic self shows up. That's when intimacy becomes meaningful instead of mechanical. Asking simple but powerful questions makes all the difference. Are you feeling okay? Is there anything you want to talk about first? Do you have any boundaries I should know about? These don't ruin the moment, they make the moment. They say, I care about how you feel. I care about your experience. I want this to be good for both of us. And let's be honest, if you can't talk about consent and comfort, you're not ready to be naked with someone. Vulnerability is not just physical. Emotional safety must come first. Real confidence is the ability to speak up, to ask, to listen, and to respect the answer no matter what it is. Because consent is not a checkbox. It's an active, ongoing agreement rooted in mutual care, curiosity, and courage. Without it, there's no true connection, only risk. Emotional readiness is often overlooked in conversations about intimacy, yet it's one of the most critical pieces in determining whether you're truly prepared to take that next step with someone. It's not just about whether you can do it, it's about whether you should. Emotional readiness means being in a place where you understand your own motivations, where you've checked in with yourself honestly, and where you can confidently say that this choice aligns with your values, not just your impulses. There's a difference between wanting connection and using sex as a substitute for it. Emotional readiness asks you to pause and reflect. Am I doing this because I genuinely feel connected to this person? Or am I trying to fill a void, distract myself from pain, or seek validation I'm not giving myself? These questions can be uncomfortable, but that discomfort is valuable. It's a signal to slow down and go inward before you go outward. You have to know what this moment means to you. Not to your friends, not to the culture around you, not to someone else's expectations, but to you. Emotional readiness is about taking ownership of your choices. It's not about being in love necessarily, but it is about being clear. Do you feel stable in your own emotions? Will you feel okay afterward regardless of how they feel? If the answer is, I don't know, or probably not, then that's your body giving you a red flag. You also need to be honest about the emotional consequences. Sometimes we go into intimate situations hoping they will create more closeness. We assume that physical intimacy will lead to emotional intimacy, but that's not always the case. If you're not emotionally prepared to handle whatever happens after, whether it's deeper feelings, confusion, or even distance, then the cost might be higher than you expect. Emotional readiness means knowing that you're resilient enough to face those outcomes, not just fantasizing about the best-case scenario. It also means being aware of the emotional dynamic between you and the other person. Are you both showing up with honesty and care? Are emotions being manipulated or minimized? Are there unspoken expectations lingering in the background? If there's any imbalance, if one person is emotionally invested while the other is checked out, it creates tension that can quickly turn into regret. Emotional readiness is a shared responsibility, but it starts with individual clarity. Being emotionally ready doesn't mean having everything figured out. It means being willing to be honest with yourself, to acknowledge your vulnerabilities, and to move forward only when your heart and your mind are aligned. If you feel anxious, conflicted, or uncertain, listen to that. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. Because when you're emotionally ready, the experience becomes one of connection, not confusion. You're not trying to get something from the moment, you're choosing to bring your whole self into it, fully aware, fully present, and fully in control of your decision. Expectations and intentions are two of the most powerful forces shaping our experiences, particularly when it comes to intimacy. These two elements are deeply connected to how we navigate relationships and what we bring into those moments. Too often, people enter intimate situations with unspoken or unclear expectations, hoping for something to happen or assuming things will unfold a certain way. But without understanding your true intentions or setting realistic expectations, you're setting yourself up for potential confusion, disappointment, or even hurt. Expectations are often formed by society, past experiences, or the influence of others. They can be subtle or obvious, but they shape how we view intimacy before it even happens. Think about it. What have you been told about sex or intimacy? What messages did you receive about what you should feel, how you should behave, or what the experience should look like? These external influences often create pressure, whether it's about meeting a certain standard or fulfilling a particular fantasy. But the truth is, everyone's experience of intimacy is unique, and no one should feel like they have to meet someone else's standard. Having clear expectations means being realistic about what you want, what feels right, and what feels possible. It's asking yourself, what am I hoping to get from this moment? Are you seeking connection, validation, love, or simply physical pleasure? Being honest with yourself about what you want out of the experience is key. It's also essential to communicate these expectations with the other person to avoid misunderstandings or misaligned desires. If you're hoping for something long-term and they're just looking for a one-time experience, that's a conversation worth having before anything physical happens. Intentions, on the other hand, speak to why you're doing something. They go beyond the immediate gratification of the moment and focus on the deeper reasons driving your actions. Are you approaching this experience because you genuinely feel drawn to this person and you want to deepen your bond with them? Or are you acting out of loneliness, insecurity, or a need for external validation? Your intention reveals your emotional landscape. If you're in it for the right reasons, your intention will be about shared experience, mutual respect, and authentic connection. But if you're unclear or conflicted about your intentions, that's where things can get tricky. If you're in a place where your intentions aren't aligned with your partner's, it's crucial to have that conversation. If your intention is to establish a deeper emotional connection, and theirs is to experience something physical, there's a risk of one person being hurt or feeling used. Intention creates the framework for what the experience will be. It dictates whether it's about fun, connection, healing, or something else entirely. Intentions shape our emotional safety in any intimate situation, so being clear about them prevents misunderstandings and sets the tone for the encounter. Moreover, your intention should also reflect how you approach the aftermath. What do you expect or hope for once the experience is over? Are you expecting more attention or affection? Are you hoping for a shift in the relationship? Being upfront about your post-intimacy intentions is just as important as understanding the intentions going in. This clarity ensures that both parties are on the same page, reducing the potential for regret or confusion later. When both people are clear about their expectations and intentions, it transforms the experience. It's not about guessing, projecting, or assuming. It's about communicating openly and creating a space where both can feel safe, understood, and respected. With that clarity, you can move forward with confidence, knowing you're both making a choice together rather than stumbling through with mixed signals. Health and safety should always be at the forefront of any intimate encounter, and yet it's often the last thing people discuss openly. But ignoring this crucial aspect can lead to physical and emotional risks that could have been easily prevented with a little awareness and communication. It's not just about protecting your body, it's about respecting your well-being and your partner's, ensuring that both of you feel safe, cared for, and respected during and after the experience. When we talk about health and safety and intimacy, the conversation should start with sexual health, specifically the prevention of sexually transmitted infections, STIs. Many people assume they're in the clear if they've been tested in the past, or if they've only been with one partner. But sexual health is an ongoing responsibility. If you've had any kind of sexual contact, it's important to talk about STI testing, the frequency of testing, and any possible symptoms or concerns. The key here is transparency. Both people should feel comfortable discussing their testing history and the steps they've taken to protect their health. If either person hasn't been tested recently or isn't sure of their status, it's time to go together to get tested. No one should feel embarrassed or ashamed about asking these questions. It's simply part of ensuring a safe experience. Contraception is another critical element of health and safety. Whether you're in a monogamous relationship or just hooking up, it's essential to talk about birth control options. What forms of contraception are you both comfortable using? Are you using condoms, birth control pills, IUDs, or another method? Having this conversation ensures that both partners are on the same page and reduces the risk of unwanted pregnancy or exposure to STIs. It also makes it clear that both parties are committed to their own and each other's health and protection. Beyond physical health, there's also the mental and emotional aspect of safety. Emotional well-being plays a big role in how comfortable and open you feel with your partner. If you're not emotionally ready or feel pressured in any way, it could create a sense of discomfort or even trauma long after the experience is over. This is where communication becomes crucial, not just about your physical boundaries, but also your emotional needs and concerns. Have an open discussion about how you both feel, what makes you feel secure, and what you need in order to feel safe. This could include reassurance, respect for your boundaries, or even aftercare, depending on the experience. Safety also means respecting each other's boundaries. No one should feel coerced or manipulated into doing something they're not ready for. Establishing clear and ongoing communication about what feels right, what's off limits, and what's acceptable is a form of self-care for both individuals. If there's ever a moment where either person feels uncomfortable or unsure, it's important to stop and reassess the situation. This could mean taking a break, changing the pace, or simply talking things through to check in with each other. The ability to stop at any point is a crucial part of maintaining health and safety, both physically and emotionally. Finally, health and safety also extend beyond the physical encounter. It's essential to talk about how you'll navigate the aftermath of intimacy. Are there things that need to be addressed afterward, like feelings of vulnerability or discomfort? Are there emotional needs to be met? Discussing how you both feel after the experience, whether it's through text or in person, helps maintain emotional safety. It's about ensuring that both parties are leaving the experience feeling good, respected, and cared for. By prioritizing health and safety, you're not just protecting your body, you're fostering a deeper sense of trust, respect, and connection with your partner. It shows that you're serious about mutual care, and it builds a strong foundation for any future experiences, emotional or physical. Boundaries and aftercare are essential aspects of creating a safe, respectful, and fulfilling intimate experience. These two elements are often overlooked or misunderstood, yet they play a crucial role in ensuring that both partners feel cared for, respected, and emotionally secure before, during, and after an encounter. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect our physical and emotional well-being, and aftercare is the intentional, compassionate attention we give to ourselves and each other after an intimate experience to ensure emotional safety and healing. Boundaries are not just about saying no to things that make us uncomfortable. They are a proactive declaration of our personal limits, what we need to feel safe, and what we're willing to share with another person. Everyone has different boundaries, and these can evolve over time. They might be physical boundaries, such as what parts of your body are comfortable being touched, or emotional boundaries, such as how much you are willing to open up or share during intimacy. Clear communication is key to respecting each other's boundaries. It's important to be explicit about what you do and don't want to experience, and also to stay attuned to your partner's cues. Boundaries aren't set in stone. They may shift depending on the situation, and that's okay. What matters most is that both individuals are comfortable and their limits are respected at all times. If something feels off or a boundary is crossed, it's crucial to communicate that in the moment without fear of judgment or retaliation. Creating a space where both people feel safe to express their needs and limits is the cornerstone of healthy intimacy. But boundaries don't just apply to the physical act itself. They extend to the way we communicate, the space we take up in a relationship, and the level of emotional vulnerability we're ready to share. For example, some people might be comfortable with physical affection, but not with discussing past relationships, while others may need to feel an emotional connection before engaging in sexual intimacy. Each person's emotional landscape is different, and it's important to create a dialogue that helps both individuals understand each other's limits and comfort zones. Asking questions, checking in, and respecting each other's boundaries isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of mutual respect and care. Aftercare is equally important, yet it's something that's often neglected or underestimated. Aftercare refers to the intentional acts of care, kindness, and reassurance that take place after the physical experience. This could be anything from a comforting touch, a gentle conversation, or simply asking, "How are you feeling?" It's the time to address any emotional or physical discomfort that may arise and ensure that both individuals feel safe, grounded, and cared for after the experience. Intimacy can stir up many emotions, sometimes joy and connection, but at other times, vulnerability, insecurity, or even confusion. Aftercare creates a space for both individuals to process those feelings in a compassionate and non-judgmental way. If one person feels emotionally exposed or overwhelmed, aftercare is an opportunity to check in and offer support. This could be as simple as holding each other, talking about how you felt, or making sure the person is comfortable and content. It's about acknowledging that intimacy doesn't just stop at the physical act. It's a full, holistic experience that includes the emotional and psychological aspects as well. The importance of aftercare goes beyond just soothing any immediate discomfort. It also reinforces the trust and bond between the partners. By taking the time to care for each other after an intimate moment, you're showing that you value each other's well-being and are committed to ensuring a positive experience, not just in the moment, but after it as well. This can deepen the emotional connection between two people and set the foundation for healthy intimacy moving forward. Ultimately, both boundaries and aftercare are about showing respect, care, and understanding for yourself and your partner. They are integral to fostering an environment where intimacy is safe, consensual, and emotionally fulfilling. By establishing clear boundaries and offering thoughtful aftercare, both individuals can feel respected, valued, and emotionally secure, which strengthens the relationship and creates a more profound and lasting connection. Communication style plays a crucial role in any intimate relationship. It shapes how we connect, how we express our desires, and how we navigate moments of discomfort or disagreement. In intimate situations, the ability to communicate openly, honestly, and respectfully is essential for ensuring that both partners feel seen, heard, and understood. However, communication isn't just about talking, it's about listening, interpreting body language, and being receptive to unspoken cues. When it comes to intimacy, our communication style can either create an atmosphere of safety and trust or foster confusion and disconnection. At its core, communication in an intimate relationship is about creating an open, non-judgmental space where both individuals feel comfortable expressing their thoughts, needs, and boundaries. This starts with verbal communication, where clear, honest dialogue is key. It's important to express what you want, what feels good, and what doesn't. Saying things like, "I really like when you do this," or "I'm not sure about this," is not only healthy but necessary. Sometimes these conversations can feel awkward or uncomfortable, but they are foundational in ensuring that both partners are on the same page. Open communication allows both people to adjust, change, or stop what they're doing to ensure that the experience is mutually enjoyable and respectful. Equally important is nonverbal communication, which is often even more powerful than words. Our bodies speak volumes, whether it's a subtle change in posture, a sigh, a shift in energy, or eye contact. These nonverbal cues can indicate discomfort, excitement, pleasure, or hesitation. Paying attention to your partner's body language is just as important as what they say out loud. If something feels off, or if there's uncertainty in their eyes, it's crucial to pause and check in. If you're not sure whether they're comfortable or enjoying themselves, don't be afraid to ask. A simple, "How are you feeling?" or "Is this okay?" can open up the space for more clarity and ensure that your partner feels safe and heard. A critical part of communication style is the ability to receive feedback and to express discomfort. Sometimes we might feel hesitant to speak up, fearing that we might hurt the other person's feelings or cause awkwardness. But a healthy communication dynamic means that both individuals feel comfortable expressing when something doesn't feel right. If you're uncomfortable or want to adjust the pace, vocalizing that need in a gentle but direct way is not only okay, it's essential. Saying something like, "I need a moment," or "Can we slow down a bit," is a sign of self-respect and emotional maturity. Likewise, it's just as important to be receptive to your partner's needs and discomforts. If they express a need to slow down or stop, honoring that request without pressure or frustration is critical in maintaining a healthy dynamic. Another important aspect of communication style is the need for ongoing check-ins. Communication doesn't stop once intimacy begins, it should be present throughout the experience. This means being attuned to each other's emotional and physical needs, making sure that both partners are comfortable with the situation as it evolves. Constant, real-time feedback creates a sense of partnership and mutual respect. You might ask, "Is this okay?" or "How are you feeling right now?" to ensure that both of you are still aligned. If something changes, whether it's physical pleasure or emotional state, being able to check in allows for fluid adjustments, reducing the chances of awkwardness or discomfort later. The ability to create an open line of communication before, during, and after intimacy builds trust and strengthens the emotional bond between partners. When both individuals feel free to express their needs, desires, and discomforts, it creates a stronger connection. It also encourages vulnerability, which deepens intimacy. Having a communication style that promotes transparency and respect means that intimacy is not just a physical act, but an emotional and psychological experience as well. It allows both partners to feel safe, cared for, and valued. Without clear communication, the experience can easily become misaligned, leaving one or both individuals feeling disconnected or unheard. Communication is not just about the words we say, it's how we listen, interpret, and respond to our partner's needs, both spoken and unspoken. When it comes to intimacy, the ability to communicate openly and authentically is the bedrock upon which healthy, fulfilling experiences are built. Whether it's asking for what you want, setting boundaries, checking in during the moment, or expressing care afterward, communication style creates an environment where both people can be their true selves. Privacy and discretion are fundamental principles in any intimate relationship, yet they are often underappreciated or overlooked. Intimacy is a deeply personal experience, and protecting the privacy of both individuals is essential for creating a safe, trusting environment. Respecting privacy isn't just about keeping secrets. It's about acknowledging the vulnerability that comes with being intimate with another person and ensuring that the experience remains secure, confidential, and respectful. Discretion, meanwhile, is about making sure that the boundaries of privacy are upheld not just between the two people involved, but also in the way the experience is shared with others. In intimate situations, privacy begins with consent, the mutual understanding that what happens between the two individuals remains between them unless they choose to share it. This means keeping physical, emotional, and verbal details about the experience private unless both partners agree otherwise. When you allow someone into your personal space in such a vulnerable way, you're entrusting them with a part of yourself that should be safeguarded. If those moments are shared outside of the intimate space without permission, it can violate trust and erode the sense of security that intimacy is supposed to create. Discretion is not just about silence, though. It's also about the care we take in managing the information we share. In our digital age, where everything from relationships to moments of pleasure can be captured, recorded, or posted, maintaining discretion becomes even more critical. Intimate details, whether it's a photograph, a conversation, or a moment shared in the heat of the moment, should never be shared without explicit permission from the other person involved. Even if the intent is harmless, the consequences of breaking someone's trust can be far-reaching, damaging the emotional connection and undermining any future possibilities for closeness. It's also essential to remember that privacy is not just about what happens between the two people at the moment of intimacy. It's about how those individuals interact afterward with each other and with others. Respecting each other's emotional privacy is equally important as physical privacy. For example, discussing intimate moments with friends or acquaintances without permission can make one or both individuals feel exposed or disrespected. Even sharing vague details or making light of the experience can feel like a breach of that trust, as it fails to honor the privacy of the emotional exchange that took place. Another key aspect of privacy and discretion is ensuring that both partners feel protected from judgment or scrutiny. Intimacy, in its most genuine form, requires vulnerability. If there's a concern that one partner will be judged for their desires, preferences, or body, it can create an environment of shame or discomfort. It's crucial to create a space where neither partner feels they need to hide or mask parts of themselves to avoid being judged or misunderstood. This requires mutual respect for each other's boundaries, choices, and individuality. In this sense, privacy goes beyond just physical boundaries and extends to the emotional realm, ensuring that neither partner feels exposed or uncomfortable in ways they haven't consented to. Moreover, maintaining privacy and discretion helps foster a stronger, more secure bond between partners. When both people know that their personal experiences are respected and will not be shared or exploited, they are more likely to feel safe, respected, and valued. This leads to a deeper sense of trust, which in turn strengthens the emotional connection and makes future experiences more fulfilling and meaningful. Discretion is also about being sensitive to the dynamics of the relationship. In situations where one person may not want to share certain aspects of their life or their sexual history, respecting that desire is part of maintaining their privacy. For instance, if someone prefers not to talk about previous relationships or experiences, discretion ensures that those boundaries are respected without causing discomfort or feeling like the other person is prying. This creates a safe space for both individuals to engage with each other in a way that prioritizes mutual respect and understanding. Ultimately, privacy and discretion are about protecting the integrity of the intimate connection itself. They are about ensuring that both partners feel free to express themselves without fear of judgment, exposure, or exploitation. When privacy is respected and discretion is practiced, intimacy becomes a space for trust, safety, and emotional connection, elements that are essential for a healthy, fulfilling relationship. In this way, privacy and discretion don't just safeguard an experience, they preserve the bond between two people, ensuring that the moments they share are cherished and protected. The future impact of any intimate experience stretches far beyond the moment itself, and often we don't fully realize the emotional and psychological repercussions that can linger long after the experience is over. How we engage in intimacy today shapes how we view ourselves, how we relate to others, and how we approach future relationships. Each choice, decision, and conversation during an intimate encounter has the potential to influence our emotional well-being, our boundaries, and our expectations moving forward. The impact is not just limited to the individuals involved in the moment, but it can ripple out into how we interact with the world, affecting our relationships, our self-esteem, and our ability to form trust with others. One of the most significant ways in which an intimate experience can impact the future is through the lens of emotional resilience and growth. When intimacy is respectful, consensual, and emotionally fulfilling, it can strengthen self-esteem and build a sense of self-worth. Positive, healthy experiences provide a foundation for healthy future relationships, making it easier for individuals to approach intimacy with confidence and openness. However, when intimacy is rushed, forced, or emotionally disconnected, it can have the opposite effect. People may leave those experiences feeling misunderstood, insecure, or devalued. These negative emotional consequences can carry forward into future relationships, often manifesting as difficulty trusting, fear of vulnerability, or hesitance to fully engage with future partners. What happens in the present is rarely isolated. It can mold our emotional state and expectations for years to come. The way we approach intimacy can also have a lasting impact on how we set boundaries in the future. If we engage in intimate situations without clear communication, if we ignore our own needs or compromise our values to appease someone else, it sets a dangerous precedent. We may start to neglect our boundaries or feel too afraid to assert ourselves. This can result in repeated patterns of unhealthy relationships, where personal limits are constantly pushed and self-respect is sacrificed. On the other hand, if we practice firm boundary setting, respect for ourselves and others, and honest communication, we're more likely to maintain these practices in future interactions. Establishing healthy boundaries in intimate relationships builds a sense of empowerment, ensuring that we continue to advocate for our emotional and physical safety long after the experience. Furthermore, the expectations we set during intimacy can impact how we view ourselves and others in the future. If we enter intimate situations with unrealistic expectations, whether they're about the emotional depth of the experience, the behavior of our partner, or the connection that should result from it, we may leave feeling disappointed or disillusioned. These disappointments can distort our perceptions of future experiences, making it difficult to approach future partners with an open mind or heart. Conversely, approaching intimacy with grounded, realistic expectations allows us to enjoy the present moment for what it is without putting unnecessary pressure on it to meet unattainable ideals. By understanding and managing expectations, we can better navigate future experiences with clarity and emotional wisdom. The emotional and psychological impact of intimacy also influences how we build trust in future relationships. If intimacy is shared with someone who is considerate, kind, and emotionally present, it can foster a strong sense of trust that enriches future connections. Trust is foundational for any healthy relationship, and when we experience positive, affirming, intimate moments, we are more likely to feel confident in our ability to trust others. On the other hand, negative experiences, whether it's betrayal, manipulation, or inconsiderate behavior, can make it harder to trust future partners. Those who've experienced emotional wounds from intimacy may find it challenging to open up or be vulnerable again. The key to building future trust lies in maintaining respect, clear communication, and mutual understanding during each intimate experience. Lastly, intimacy has the potential to influence our future approach to relationships and emotional connections. If we engage in healthy, respectful, intimate moments, it can set the stage for deeper emotional bonds, encouraging us to seek out more meaningful connections in the future. Positive experiences help us better understand our own desires, needs, and emotional triggers, which ultimately leads to more fulfilling relationships down the line. But if intimacy becomes transactional, shallow, or emotionally damaging, it can reinforce unhealthy patterns or lead to emotional detachment. Understanding the impact of our choices today can help shape a more compassionate, connected, and meaningful approach to intimacy in the future. The impact of intimate experiences reaches far beyond the physical act itself. How we treat ourselves, how we treat others, and how we communicate during these moments can shape the course of future relationships. The decisions we make today have the power to influence our emotional health, boundaries, expectations, trust, and overall sense of well-being for years to come. Whether positive or negative, the impact of intimacy extends far beyond the bedroom and can play a central role in shaping how we engage with the world around us. In conclusion, the questions and considerations we bring into intimate relationships are not just about the immediate experience, they shape the foundation for trust, respect, and emotional well-being that lasts far beyond the moment. By prioritizing open communication, mutual respect for boundaries, health and safety, emotional readiness, and privacy, we create an environment that fosters deeper connection and understanding. Recognizing the long-term impact of our choices ensures that intimacy becomes a positive, empowering experience, not just for today, but for every future relationship we engage in. Each thoughtful conversation, each shared moment of care and consideration sets the tone for the emotional and relational health we cultivate in our lives moving forward.